is over. After 6 months away, we're back to playing football.
And this is way better than Watergate, isn't it? Now we get to have some fun. Watch the veterans. They'll play a little bit. We know that. But the big thing, this new crop of rookies and young guys, they get their chance to take the field and earn their spot.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback. Out of Oregon, it's Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota's skill set can help continue to evolve the position of quarterback in the NFL. Because his ability to run with the football, you may not utilize it as little as other coaches have in the past. You may emphasize that part of the game a little bit more.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And we look now at the Lions offense.
Amir Abdullah has the ability to power the Detroit running game. Strong and compact. He's quick to and through holes and has the speed to go a long way once he hits the secondary. And in addition, can catch the ball well out of the backfield.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it's going to be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Nice little nifty play for them there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Throwing again, Mariota on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Roberts. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for a loss.
And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you got the early lead.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
No question at all about his talent, and that's been on display since his first game as a starter at Florida State. On a Monday night, the whole country watching, he only missed 2 passes in the entire game and led his team to a big victory and later a national championship as a freshman.
First down, Winston. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The first carry for DeAndre Washington. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
Detroit's numbers on defense in 2016 were not horrible. They were number 19 against the pass and number 18 overall, but where they think they'll make a big jump in 2017 is being able to get a pass rush going again. Ziggy Ansah, their star defensive end, played with a bad ankle for most of the season and wasn't able to duplicate his double-digit sack numbers of 2015.
Jameis to throw it. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. Here's Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They got 29 yards there. And that'll be good enough for a Tampa Bay first down. On first, here's Washington. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. On first and goal, Washington. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They'll try to throw now. Winston. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Here's third and goal now back at the 11. Now it's the backup Stafford. Drops it off to Martin. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Doug Martin, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. On the return, Dwayne Washington. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
On first down, Person, and it's incomplete.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
A first run for the backup, Abdullah. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. A gain of 32 that time.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Now a play fake here on first down. That is caught at the 7. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. 23 yards on the play.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. And his kick is indeed good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
This is fielded at the goal line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Oh, good move. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. First down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing on first down. Person. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to the air on second down. Person. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On third down, Person. They find some open field here. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up second and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Back to throw. Person. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And, oh, a big collision there. He's hit and knocked backward.
Defense. Well,
we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
To throw on third down. Person. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down near the 34-yard line. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll bring them back within 4. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep. First and 10, Stafford. Harris has it over the middle. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now a first down throw, Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. From the 50, it's Stafford. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the kick.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Rough crowd, no football for 6 months already. We're skipping halftime. All right, let's get right back to the action. We're set for quarter 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little, kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 17 yards on the pickup. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal... from so much experience. The longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Again, it's Abdullah. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 1st and 10, Person. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might...
And Sims lost it. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it...
Preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
On the run, Abdullah. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
A 2nd down run for Abdullah. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
On first down, Abdullah. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Person throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get the Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Person. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. A big hit. Knocked out sideways. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And when he was at Nebraska, Abdullah was known to have some fumble issues.
I remember it well coming out in the draft. It was a big topic of conversation. Could that be cured? You know, why did he have the type of fumbles he had? It continues now. There has to be a heavy emphasis on it because he is a talented player. If he keeps turning the ball over, we'll never know just how good he could be.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, Stafford. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Well, we looked at each other in surprise going for it on 4th down in the 4th quarter with a lead. But, hey, you get it as a coach. You look like a genius.
So the next time we see Coach, he's going to say, well, that's why I coach and that's why you guys talk up there, right? He had the guts to go ahead and go for it, and it paid off.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
They'll run it again with Sims. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off-kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and the Lions have recovered, and they're not able to convert on 4th down.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no
yardage. Okay.
So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the 4th with the football.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the pistol, they'll run with Abdullah. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a 1st down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Let's go.
They'll run here. Abdullah. And now running right through it. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the 1st down yardage. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Let's go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. He's back to throw. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
They'll look to throw, and that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Again, they run with Sims. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep. And got his man complete. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now they run with Sims. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. The Bucs on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Stafford. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is taken around the 12. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final.